Hey everyone, today I'm going to blow your mind with something that just dropped from Anthropic, Claude Skills. And here's the kicker. This might actually be a bigger game changer than MCP servers, which everyone's been buzzing about. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why Skills could completely transform how you automate your business operations. Let me start with a scenario you've probably lived through. You open Claude, spend 15 minutes crafting the perfect prompt with all your specific requirements, your brand guidelines, your formatting preferences, your workflow steps. Claude nails it. Amazing output. You're thrilled. Fast forward to next week. Same task. And guess what? You're typing out those exact same instructions all over again. It's like Groundhog Day, but for prompts. Frustrating, right? Or maybe you jumped on the MCP server bandwagon. You heard all the hype, set up a few servers, and then boom, your context window is eating up 16% of capacity before you've even started working. Your GitHub MCP alone is consuming tens of thousands of tokens. One user reported running 20 MCP servers and hitting their context limit after just 5 prompts. 5. This is the dirty secret nobody talks about with MCP servers. They're powerful, yes, but they're also incredibly hungry, token hungry, context hungry, and expensive. So what exactly are Claude skills? Think of them as custom onboarding materials for Claude. They're organized folders containing instructions, scripts, and resources that teach Claude how to perform specific tasks in a repeatable way. But here's where it gets really clever, and this is the part that makes Skills potentially more revolutionary than MCP. Skills use something called progressive disclosure. Let me break this down because it's genuinely brilliant. When you start a Claude session, here's what happens. Claude doesn't load every single skill you have available. Instead, it just scans the names and descriptions. We're talking about 30 to 50 tokens per skill. That's it. Just enough to know what's available. Then, when you ask Claude to do something relevant, it loads only that specific skill's full instructions. And if the task needs additional resources, reference documents, templates, scripts, Claude loads those on demand. It's like having a massive library, but only opening the books you actually need. Compare this to MCP servers. Every MCP server you load dumps its entire toolset into your context window immediately. It's all or nothing. GitHub's official MCP alone famously consumes tens of thousands of tokens right from the start. Add a few more servers, and you've lost precious working space before Claude has done anything useful. Unskills. With Skills, you could have dozens, even hundreds of capabilities available, but they only consume tokens when they're actually being used. One developer reported that skills barely show up as a percentage in context usage until they're activated. Let's talk results, because this is where it gets exciting. Yes, the massive e-commerce company implemented Claude Skills for its financial workflows. The result? An 87.5% time reduction. Tasks that took a full day now take 1 hour. Think about that. An entire workday compressed into 60 minutes. And it's not just big corporations. Small businesses are using Skills to automate payroll by connecting Claude to their accounting software. Marketing teams load their brand guidelines once and never repeat themselves. Legal departments program in standard contract language. Developers set up testing requirements that Claude follows perfectly every single time. Now, I'm not saying MCP servers are bad. They're excellent for live enterprise data, accessing real-time systems, and centralized governance. But here's the key difference that I think makes Skills more accessible and ultimately more impactful for most users. MCP servers require infrastructure. You need to host them, manage authentication, handle OAuth flows, deal with security concerns, and constantly maintain them. They're designed for developers and DevOps teams. Most MCP servers use STDIO transport, meaning they run as local processes, which creates deployment headaches, especially in multi-user environments. Skills? You can create them with zero coding knowledge. Just write instructions in Markdown. That's it. No servers to host, no APIs to maintain, no infrastructure overhead. You describe what you want in plain English, and Claude learns it. And here's the beautiful part. Skills and MCP can work together. A skill can actually include instructions on how to use MCP servers when you need them. You're not choosing one or the other. You're layering capabilities intelligently. One feature that's absolutely killer is composability. Multiple skills automatically stack together when needed. Let's say you're creating a quarterly investor presentation. Claude might simultaneously load your brand guidelines skill, your financial analysis skill, and your presentation formatting skill, all working in harmony without you manually coordinating them. Simon Willison, a respected voice in the AI community, wrote that skills might actually be a bigger deal than MCP. His reasoning? The simplicity is the point. Skills give you the flexibility and power of MCP without the complexity tax. Here's why I think skills are about to explode in popularity. First, the barrier to entry is incredibly low. Anyone can create a skill. You don't need to be a developer. A marketing manager can create a skill for brand consistent social posts. An accountant can create a skill for financial reporting. A customer service rep can create a skill for handling common inquiries. Second, they're portable. Build a skill once, use it everywhere. Claude Web App, Claude Code CLI, the API, custom agents. That's huge for teams and organizations. Third, they solve a real pain point. The number one complaint I hear about AI tools is inconsistency. Claude gave me great output yesterday, but today it's completely different. Skills eliminate that problem. Your workflows become standardized and repeatable. Fourth, and this is big, they make AI genuinely feel like your assistant, not a generic tool. When Claude knows your processes, follows your conventions, and applies your expertise automatically, it stops feeling like you're talking to a chatbot and starts feeling like you're working with a specialized team member. For the more technical viewers, here's why skills are architecturally elegant. They operate entirely client-side through tool calls when needed. You manage the storage backend, giving you complete control over where data lives and how it persists. They're also incredibly efficient from a token perspective. The metadata scanning means your effective context window stays clean until you need it. And because skills can include executable code for tasks where traditional programming is more reliable than token generation, you get the best of both worlds. AI flexibility with programmatic precision. Compare this to MCP's current challenges. Most MCP servers are designed single-tenant and stateful, making them difficult to scale. Deployment in serverless environments is particularly challenging. Authentication often lacks support for inline credentials, leading to security concerns. Skills sidestep all of this. Here's my take on where this is heading. We're moving from the era of AI as a smart chatbot to AI as a configurable operator embedded in your workflow. Skills represent a fundamental shift from reactive prompting to proactive automation. Anthropic is essentially turning Claude into a platform for repeatable reasoning. Instead of scattered product features, you get modular, stackable capabilities that you control. For enterprises, this means centralized governance. Review and approve a set of skills once, then roll them out across your entire organization with consistent behavior. For solo entrepreneurs and small teams, this is your opportunity to punch way above your weight class. Automation capabilities that previously required dedicated development teams and significant investment are now accessible through an intuitive framework. So, how do you actually start using skills? If you're on a Pro, Max, Team, or Enterprise Claude plan, you already have access. Anthropic has created a collection of skills for common tasks, Word documents, PowerPoint slides, Excel spreadsheets, even making GIFs for Slack. Want to create your own? There's literally a skill that helps you create skills. You just talk to Claude and it walks you through the process. No coding required. For the developers watching, skills work seamlessly with the Claude API through the dedicated /v1/skills endpoint. You can programmatically manage skill versions, control skill loading, and integrate them into your applications. Let me bring this home. MCP servers are powerful and absolutely have their place, especially for enterprise integrations, real-time data access, and multi-host reuse. But for the vast majority of use cases, especially for small to medium businesses, skills offer a better combination of power, simplicity, and accessibility. Skills solve the context bloat problem that's plaguing MCP implementations. They make customization possible for non-technical users, may enable truly repeatable workflows without infrastructure overhead. And they do all of this while keeping Claude fast, efficient, and genuinely useful. Is this the end of MCP? Absolutely not. But I genuinely believe skills represent the path forward for mainstream AI automation adoption. They're the feature that bridges the gap between AI is interesting and AI is indispensable to how I work. If you've been struggling with getting consistent results from Claude, if you're tired of repeating the same instructions, or if you've been intimidated by the complexity of MCP servers, skills are your answer. They're available now. They're free to use if you have a paid Claude plan, and they're genuinely easy to get started with. I'm going to be creating more content on specific skill implementations, so make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell. Drop a comment below with the workflow you'd want to automate first using skills. I read every comment, and your ideas help shape future videos. The future of AI automation isn't about building more complex systems. It's about making powerful capabilities accessible to everyone. Claude Skills just made that future arrive a whole lot faster. Thanks for watching. Now go build something amazing.